What's up, everybody? Today, just doing a quick recap video of the first day of the My Funded Futures account challenge. And if you are unfamiliar with that, My Funded Futures is doing a 2025 competition for the month of March. You can see the prizes right here: a $5,000 live account, 2,500 live, 2,500 cash, 1,250, 750, yada yada. So that today's the first day of that. You can see there's 3,000 people registered so far. And the rules are pretty simple from what I understand. So the rules are you get 10K static, one contract max, which is super interesting. And you can scalp, obviously, no resets to one and done, and then no overnight, and you can news trade. So pretty straightforward there. But the cool thing is today actually gave and yielded some good opportunities in the market. Finished up the day $900 in total profit, which you can see here. However, guilty as charged with overtrading, and I'm on the 1 minute. So let's just pull up the performance of today. Look at this, is just ridiculous, guys. Look at these numbers. This is nothing to be proud of. I clearly overtraded, and that's on me. It's something I'm working on, but with scalping, and I got caught up in this chop, which I struggle from insane proportions of how much I struggle with choppy days. But look at this consolidation, and then you had some manipulation to the upside, and then it displaced all the way down. This was the trade to be in, and I missed it, which sucks. I was short right here. And unfortunately, that was my loss. But if I had held through this and all the way down like I initially planned, that would have been awesome. But nonetheless, happy to be green on the morning. On the day. The biggest thing that I noticed was right here on the 1 minute. So before we jump into the 1 minute chart, though, let's look at the 5 minute because we had some decent play in the 5 minute this morning. We had a nice move up on the MACD, and then price started to consolidate. Here's the displacement down that we just saw. But this was the interesting side of things. So as we started to pull down, we noticed that we bottomed out here, which I literally caught the bottom of and sold too soon, unfortunately. Caught the bottom here too, which I should have held, but you can see we had a nice push up and now we're pushing back to the downside. However, the MACD started to curl up here, and I wanted to play into the strength rather than deal with this slow chop up, because what you'll notice is even though the MACD is moving up, price actually moved down sideways and then displaced back to the upside. So that was my thesis there. But looking at the 1 minute time frame, this was where I was able to spot some divergence in what I was looking at and how I was able to determine I needed to get in here. As you can see, I actually got in on this candle, which was about 2 minutes too early for a quick loss there, but this was the bulk of the move up that I was able to catch, and then same right here. So satisfied with that move, but what I noticed mainly on the RSI was this part of the move right here. So as we pulled down, you'll notice that the RSI is decreasing. We moved ourselves back up, and then we push back down, but you'll notice that if we're looking at the type of lows we're dealing with, we've got the low right here, which is the bottoming of the initial retracement to the downside. When looking at the second part of the move to the downside, which is right here, you'll see that as we came up, we're riding up, and then as we pull back down, this high is actually higher than this one. So what that means is, although it was a double bottom, if you want to call it that, it was actually stronger on its retracement downward, meaning that more buyers were in control. The price was more firm in this area. So looking at the divergence, it might be a little bit easier to see it this way. So although we had some movement to the upside here, drawing a line here, we also had it here as well. So moving to the upside, this, even if you wanted to look at this as more of a flat double bottom or something along these lines like this, let's look at it this way. You can see that although it was a flat double bottom, we had a very strong push up on the RSI, which brought us all the way up. And now we're starting to push back down into the lows. This price action that you're seeing right here is one of the reasons why I struggle with holding my winning trades longer, because one thing I've learned about trading the Nasdaq and NQ is that you cannot trust the moves on the Nasdaq. You have to take what you can for the meantime, and then take your risk off when the price action or the volume starts to dry up, which is why I prefer to sling more contracts for a shorter time frame than trade one contract or two for a longer time frame. Because let's say you wanted to hold through this, and let's say you got in here and you place your stop just below these lows. Let's say you're just trading one contract. By all means, you run the very strong risk of being stopped out and you lost a decent chunk of the move. So that's one thing that I struggle with. Now, mind you, you have to, as a trader, you have to be able to identify the days that are good to hold your trades long and those that you just have to scalp through. And seeing how we consolidated largely within this range this morning, we consolidated from here. It's going to do that weird shape, sorry. I don't know why it's not letting me do this, but we consolidated here and then we consolidated through this range here, creating this whole little move. But ultimately, we displaced to the downside, and I think we're actually going to push lower now. But for the sake of this challenge and the sake of this competition, I'm going to log out of the accounts for today and bank these. I want to build up a buffer so that I could hold one contract much longer, such as a 10, 15, 30-minute hold time. But that was what I was looking at today, guys. If you have any questions, by all means, feel free to drop a comment down below. If you're in the challenge too, would love to hear from you and how you did for the day today. But other than that, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.